After my father passed away, he left me not just his fishing boat, the Rodman 1200, but also his love for fishing. The boat has a decent-sized cabin, making it ideal for overnight deep-sea fishing. I usually head off the coast of Mississippi, sailing for about an hour before stopping to spend the day fishing. On a Sunday, I invited my cousin William to join me for a night of fishing on the boat. Navigating the waters for around an hour, we discovered a perfect spot to cast our fishing lines. With a radio and an abundance of beers to elevate our experience, we enjoyed an uninterrupted sunset on the horizon, undoubtedly the last serene moment of that night. As darkness fully enveloped the sky, we organized our belongings for the night, spending the evening inside the cabin playing cards and eating burgers. Midway through our conversation, Jack interrupted me, urging me to listen. The distant hum of a boat motor reached our ears. We stepped out of the cabin to gaze into the horizon, but the darkness, compounded by the absence of the moon, restricted our sight to about 50 feet. Despite the lights inside my cabin offering ample visibility, the approaching boat, opting not to use its lights, circled us briefly before abruptly halting. With a growing sense of unease, William suspected we were being stalked. He suggested using the spotlight to locate the other boat, but I hesitated, finding it a bit obtrusive. Nonetheless, to alleviate his worries, I steered the boat in the opposite direction for a few minutes. After approximately 5 minutes, I cut the motor, and we returned to the cabin to resume our card game. Within moments of us settling down, the boat motor resumed its hum. This time, it indicated a decrease in speed. Rushing outside, the noise ceased instantly. Agreeing with William's suspicions, I activated the spotlight, which only had a 180-degree rotation. Adjusting the boat slightly to the right, I aimed the light towards the direction of the boat's sound. The beam extended far into the horizon, revealing a boat not too far away. Swiftly turning off the spotlight, I instructed William to cut the cabin lights, and I accelerated the boat to full throttle, steering away from the area. After steering the boat for approximately 8 to 15 minutes, I decided it was sufficient. We spent some time outside to ensure we weren't being followed again. When we felt it was safe, we settled down to sleep. However, I was awakened by a thumping sound from above the cabin. Glancing at William, who was sleeping on the couch, I whispered his name to wake him up and pointed upwards. He, too, heard the thumps. Opening the door to the deck, I saw 2 men, one on the bow of my boat and the other on a nearby vessel floating directly next to mine. William quickly joined me as he came running out from behind. In the midst of the tense situation on the boat, both men cautiously raised their hands, claiming that their intentions were harmless. The individual on my boat explained that they were almost out of gas and in need of assistance. He mentioned his plan to knock on my cabin door for help. Despite his explanation, skepticism lingered in my mind, particularly about his positioning at the bow of my boat. To discreetly signal to William that I was considering a cautious move, I subtly flicked the guy's thigh. In response, he stepped down to the lower deck right in front of William and me. He was noticeably taller and larger than us, and without saying anything, he extended his hand for a handshake. We were uncertain of his true intentions. Sensing trouble, I opted not to shake the stranger's hand. Instead, I forcefully pushed him overboard into the water, driven by a surge of adrenaline. Without hesitation, I sprinted up the stairs to start the boat's engine, shouting at William to ensure the intruders didn't regain access to the boat. Under the cover of the night, we successfully evaded them for good. Without slowing down, I steered the boat relentlessly for a full 3 hours until we reached the shore. We docked at my pier and spent the night on the boat, vigilant and uneasy. The following morning, we hastily packed up and drove home. The sea can hold unexpected perils in the dark, but nothing prepared me for an encounter like that. I couldn't understand the intentions of those men on my boat, but given their stalking behavior, it was evident they meant no good.